Hi everyone, it's Brandon.
And Walt with All-American Thrills, and we're here actually for our 9th episode of News and Rumors.
Yes, we are. So this week, we are following up from our last edition. We talked about 2 Cedar Fair announcements last week. We talked about Kings Island and Kings Dominion. This week, we're talking about Canada's Wonderland and Worlds of Fun. So we're going to start with Canada's Wonderland, who's adding 2 new thrill rides in 2016, and they look like they're going to be really, really awesome, especially Skyhawk. So we have Skyhawk and Flying Eagles. So talk a little bit about Flying Eagles.
Let's start with Flying Eagles. Everybody likes flyers.
Yep.
And again, continuing in Matt Lumet's remark that he wanted to introduce his classic thrill rides back into the parks. Here we go again, that we're adding flyers into this park to add that classic thrill back into the park. We know flyers are great fun. We all enjoy them.
Yep, it's great to, you have the stationary wing that you can move, and you go 28 feet in the air on them. So it's great because riders can really control the flight on flyers, and really no ride is the same twice because you're always going a little bit, different levels.
And even more, it's actually something that's family oriented, that you can
Absolutely.
have a thrill, but you can also take your smaller children with you and still enjoy the thrill with it,
right.
And introduce them to having that free flying aspect to it.
Right. So it's Flying Eagles at Canada's Wonderland is going to be a great addition, but they're also adding a second thrill ride. Flyers, the Flying Eagles are a very common ride that we see at many parks, but Skyhawk is going to be very unique, and it's actually the first ride of its kind in the Northeast, and it's going to be taking riders to a whole new level of adventure when the park opens.
It's not even just the Northeast, it's North America.
North America, right.
So Gerschlauer is the creator of this ride, and we have the flyers. We have always mentioned that you can fly outward, and you have that in and out movement. With Skyhawk, you're actually going to have the ability to go upside down and flip yourself upside down by controlling the 2 wings on either side of you. From watching the videos, it looks incredibly thrilling. We're talking about going up 135 feet up in the air and having it come down, and you being able to actually control how much you flip or how little you flip while you're flying by just changing the angle of those wings.
Yep. So that's going to be absolutely thrilling as you're going to maneuver around those 360-degree turns, and you're going to be able to challenge yourself to engage in multiple inversions up at 135 feet in the air. So that's going to be a very unique ride. And I think it's going to be a fantastic addition for the park. It's certainly going to be very thrilling, and it's reason for us to have to go get our passports now to visit Canada's Wonderland in 2016.
We can get them done like tomorrow, right?
So, well, not that quick, but because they're going to be opening up when the park opens for the 35th anniversary in 2016. So when the park unveils those 2 rides, it's going to be their 35th anniversary. So big milestone year and 2 new thrill rides coming to Canada's Wonderland in 2016. So the other topic we want to talk about is Worlds of Fun. They have also announced that they are expanding their Planet Snoopy section of the park to include 5 new rides, and that's going to bring their total rides up to 21.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because we're talking about all these thrill rides, and they're really catering to the family this year with expanding Planet Snoopy. We've seen again this done in some of the other Cedar Fair parks. That we've seen it done at Dorney. We saw it done at Kings Dominion a couple years ago. Knott's did it. It seems to be one of these complete packages where they really want to round out their family-oriented rides for small children and small children thrill seekers also, because some of these rides are for little kids are going to be quite thrilling for them.
Oh yeah, and Worlds of Fun's Planet Snoopy coming in with 21 total rides. That seems like it's probably going to be one of the larger Planet Snoopies, and I think that that's going to be great because parents are going to be able to have a vast selection of rides for their kids to experience. So we have, for the 5 new rides, we have Woodstock Gliders, where young guests are going to be able to control their own flight with movable stationary wings. We have Flying Ace, where you can get your aviator glasses ready for a high-flying adventure with Snoopy. And then the other 2?
Snoopy Space Buggies, where you defy gravity and bounce on the moon and back. The Linus Launcher, experience the sensation of weightlessness through the flight with feet dangling. And then Snoopy Junction, which is their train where you're all aboard on the train with Snoopy.
Yeah, so 5 total rides for that section of the park. I think it's going to be exciting to watch. May not be something geared towards the coaster enthusiasts, but families, especially those with smaller children, are going to absolutely love it. So we're very thrilled for the park that they're getting those 5 new rides.
And the other thing, too, you got to remember is that young child becomes the thrill seeker in a couple of years down the road. And this is really their stepping stone rides to get them started on their way to enjoying amusement parks and enjoying thrill rides. Plus, it keeps mom and dad happy because it gives the little ones something to do while the teenagers are off riding those big, huge roller coasters and going for the extreme thrills.
Exactly. So, really great addition so far announced at Cedar Point, or Cedar Fair rather. Referring to Cedar Point, we haven't heard any confirmation yet on when they're going to be announcing their 2016 attraction. They have postponed it after the Raptor incident, so we haven't heard any new information on that yet, but as soon as we do, we'll be sure to let all of you know.
Thank you for watching episode 9 of Alt News and Rumors. We got to cover a little bit about Canada's Wonderland and about Worlds of Fun. In our next episode, I think we might be getting a little spooky.
Right. Our next edition of Alt News, we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the early Haunt and Fright Fest and Halloween events from a few different parks that we've been hearing so far. So, all right, make sure you subscribe here on AltView, like All-American Thrills on Facebook, and also follow on Twitter and Instagram, and be sure to go on allamericanthrills.com, register, browse around, and of course join into Alt Connect and participate in those groups for your home park, and especially Worlds of Fun and Canada's Wonderland, where we're having some really great new additions coming in 2016. So thank you for watching Week 9 of Alt News Rumors. We'll see you next time, everyone.
See ya.